Hello, my name is Caleb Keith Custer. I am a student here at WEA, and today I'm going to be demonstrating some commonly used safety procedures while working with tools that we use on campus. In this installment, we have a little bit of an uncommon tool, however, they are still used on campus, the Sawzall. What I have here is a variation of the Sawzall known as the Hackzall. However, the safety procedures are very similar. So the Sawzall is a bladed tool commonly used in demolition, and it works simply by taking that shank there and taking a saw blade and working in a similar operation to, say, a hand saw by simply going back and forth. So although this tool is commonly used in demolition, it does prove helpful when trying to cut up lumber that you may be using for a project to a shorter length, as it does work very quickly. However, the downside is that it isn't a very precise tool. For that, you're going to be using probably either a circular saw or a chop saw, or in the school's case, a miter saw, actually. Some common safety procedures that are used while using a bladed tool of any kind is you have to be wearing your safety glasses, closed-toed shoes like I have on right now. Can't be wearing any loose-fitting jewelry because it might get caught up in this blade, and when working with a sharp tool, that can be a very catastrophic scene. Since this is a brushed tool, you should be very careful with using or cutting around any material that may be explosive, because let's see if I can catch it on camera. It doesn't want to seem to show up on camera, however, sparks can jump from this because of the brushed motor, and it can ignite explosives in the area. So, when using a Sawzall, it is very similar to using, say, a handsaw. So, since it works in that same operation, what you're going to do is you're going to first score a line in a piece of wood that you may be cutting. I'll move the camera over here so that I can get a little bit of a better shot. So you're going to score a line, which in most cases you'll do with a pen or pencil. I forgot one out here, so I'm just going to pull the blade back a single time, and now I have a line that I know I need to cut on. Once I have that on, I'm going to invert the blade and put the shoe, which is this part right here, I'm going to put it at a 45-degree angle, and I'm going to have the blade touch along that line. Once I am ready to cut, I'm going to put my safety glasses on, and although it isn't necessary, it does help to have hearing protection of some kind. The hearing protection I have in right now isn't the best. I simply just have noise-canceling headphones. So they don't do the best job at being, safety equipment. However, for what I'm doing here, it's going to get the job done. So like I said, I'm going to put my saw up at an angle. I'm going to hold down in one direction away from the blade. Then once I'm ready, I'm going to squeeze down the trigger. Going to get the blade running. As you can see, the blade does tend to drift. So I'm going to let it go. And now I have a cut. As you can see, this cut isn't straight. However, if I were just doing simple work to cut down a piece of wood that was cut too long and I mounted it, it would get the job done. This tool can also provide very helpful while shortening down pieces of, say in the robotics case, a piece of the robot that they need to cut down. It provides the same operation as a hacksaw. However, it's just going to get it done quickly, purely because of that electric motor. These do come in multiple blades, So while using this, make sure you have the right blade for your material. In this case, I tend to cheap out. However, this isn't something you want to do. I simply just have what is known as a multi-material blade. This blade is designed to cut through all materials, however, it doesn't do the best job at it. If I were to cut through metal, I'm going to grab an actual metal cutting blade. If I were cutting through plastic, I might want to grab a blade that is more designated towards plastic. However, for most of the work I do, this blade does get the job done. When you're not using your tool, make sure that you have your battery disconnected, which in this case, actually before you even take the battery out, on a Sawzall, taking out the blade is very simple. There's a little piece right there. I'm going to spin that until the blade unlocks, and your blade comes right out. After that blade is out, you're going to lock up your trigger so that it doesn't run. Then you're going to disconnect your battery. After that battery is disconnected, your tool is now safe. So even if I unlock this trigger, nothing's going to happen because there isn't any power drawn to the tool. However, once I put this battery back in and I unlock this trigger, it'll run again. So that's something you always want to be wary of. Whenever you're using a bladed tool, such as a Sawzall or a circular saw, make sure that you do have your battery disconnected when you're not using it. I hope this video deemed helpful, and I'll see you in another.